I'm Samantha Frontera, and today we're going to be interviewing an amazing guest. We have Nin here of Nin Ventures, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what Nin Ventures does and all the amazing things that they are doing right now. Can you share a bit more about what you are actually doing right now?
Hello, I am Nin founder and CEO at Nin Ventures. We are a crowd-funded technology venture capital firm that invests in early to growth stage emerging technology companies.
I love that. And can you tell me, how is Nin Ventures different from other VC firms? Because you have such a unique advantage.
A typical investor base in a venture fund would be institutions, pension funds, endowment funds. We at Nin Ventures allow accredited investors to be a part of our fund, which is your average doctor, lawyer, banker, using a minimum dollar amount of $100,000.
That's amazing. And how did you get to Nin Ventures? Because you have such a cool background. So I just want to know, how did you get from point A to point B?
I started my professional career at Merrill Lynch. At Merrill, we used to manage portfolios of high net worth individuals. While it was great working with stocks and bonds, I got curious about how companies went public. Thus, I joined Pacific Crest Securities, a technology-focused investment bank, now KeyBank. In 2005, IPOs were at the peak, and it was amazing to take all these companies public. But that led to another question. How do VCs know which companies to invest in and which ones to take public? While I was at Alpha, I realized how inefficient the fundraising process was, not necessarily at Alpha, but in general. That's the short version of how I got into venture.
That's amazing. And given your background experience, you could have raised a traditional venture fund, but why crowdfund? Can you share a bit more about what crowdfunding is? Because many people don't even know what that is. Why did you choose this path versus a more traditional path?
In 2008, there was a financial meltdown that led to a crisis for entrepreneurs, LPs, and VCs. Fewer IPOs in the market means no exits for VCs, no returns for LPs, and as a result, venture funds were on a decline. When venture funds are on a decline, there is low employment and slow economic growth. Thus, on April 5, 2012, President Obama signed the Jumpstart Our Business Startup Act, the JOBS Act, and that's how Nin Ventures came into existence.
That's amazing. And so what will Nin Ventures actually invest in? That will be the biggest question.
Nin Ventures is a $25 million fund that will invest in early to growth stage emerging technology companies in sectors like AI in robotics, AI in fintech, smart factories, in our industry 4.0, space tech, etc.
And then how do you actually evaluate these companies? You know, you've done such a great job in your career knowing who to invest in, who not to. So I even recently read up on you and talked about, entrepreneurs and what makes them so special when you're talking to them. So can you share a little bit more about that? What are your thoughts?
At Nin Ventures, we believe in founder-first investing, recognizing that exceptional teams are the key driver to venture success. We bet on entrepreneurs who dream big with ideas that scale and exhibit strong personality traits like resilience, vision, etc., and have a disciplined work ethic. Their industry expertise and ability to assemble complementary teams are essential. Ultimately, the team's flexibility and execution establish long-term outcomes. We look for industry outliers. Technology is the heart of any company. We look for innovations that change the way an existing industry functions. We also help establish new market and value network, displacing an earlier technology or way of doing business. We believe in first mover advantage situations where potential for category leadership is clear. We also look for unique business model, competitive landscape, financial, and execution strategy.
What is your mission and vision for Nin Ventures right now? Tell us more.
At Nin Ventures, we are on a mission to spread crowdfunding around the world by truly democratizing venture capital. We are founder-friendly and back entrepreneurs that have a clear sense of purpose to touch 1 million lives by building industry-defining companies that are going to stand the test of time.
Given your background and experience, you could have actually raised a traditional venture fund. Why crowdfund? Tell us more about crowdfunding.
2008 financial meltdown led to a crisis for entrepreneurs, companies, LPs, and VCs. Fewer IPOs in the market means no exit for VCs, no return for LPs, and as a result, venture funds were on a decline. No new funds means less startup funding, low employment, and slow economic growth. Thus, on April 5, 2012, President Obama signed the Jumpstart Our Business Startup Act, or the JOBS Act, which enables crowdfunding. A decade later, U.S. venture capital industry is facing another fundraising crisis. According to PitchBook, only $66.1 billion was raised by 537 funds in 2025. This has been the trend since the pandemic boom, where $223 billion was raised by 1,777 funds in 2022. Venture is still a cyclical business, although each cycle is different. The last time we saw a similar dip in the venture fundraising activity was in 2013. Thus, this is the time to give another look at crowdfunding and Nin Ventures 2.0. The best time to crowdfund was 2013, and the second best time is now.
And what is the best way for entrepreneurs to reach you if they'd like to speak with you?
The best way is to log on to Nin Ventures. Whether you are an entrepreneur or an investor or just looking for business opportunities, you can log on. You can book an appointment with us on our website.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.